Hi guys, welcome back. So, who are the top 5 key Lions for the Tour of South Africa? Who's going to make the difference? Now, I've been thinking about this video for a while. We're a week out from the Tour starting. Everyone's getting very excited. And I'm not necessarily saying these are the best players, the most talented players, but I think these are the guys that might hold the key to a test victory or not in South Africa. So, number 1, let's get straight in there. Tadhg Furlong. Now, he's the Lions tight head. I think he starts unless something terrible happens. He has a terrible drop-off in form or injury, of course. I think he starts probably up against the loose head Kitshoff for South Africa. What an earth-shaking, mouth-watering contest that'll be. I think he's the guy really who's best equipped to go toe-to-toe with Kitshoff. And maybe, just maybe, even come off better. I don't know. Parity would be good, but maybe he could come off better. Fagerson, Sinclair, all good players, but I think Furlong is the one that's a little bit better. Certainly all round in the scrum as well. I think he's the guy you want there. If they can edge that battle, or at least parity, then they've got a great chance. If they start losing that battle, then we're in trouble, especially in the scrum. Now, my second player is a second row. You may think I'm going to pick Maro Itoje, but I'm not. I also rate Henderson. I think he's a fantastically skillful player, but I'm not picking him as one of my keys. I'm picking the captain, Alun Wyn Jones. Now, why is that? Well, I think one reason is he's one of the only definite starters, or you could say the only definite starter. It's really only injury that's going to rule him out of this test, the test series. Even if he has some poorish games, I think he's still going to start because he's the captain. And, you know, many still don't rate him. I certainly said at the beginning of the Six Nations, I wonder if he's still as good as he was as he's getting older. My answer was yes, he is. But many think he probably shouldn't be the captain or even in the team because he's just not as good as the others. I beg to differ on that one, but certainly because he has to start, he has to perform. And he's the talisman. If he underperforms, or if someone like Ebenezer gets the best of him physically, that's a real sign. The battle of the talismans there. Alun Wyn Jones, for me, has to perform. I think he will because he's got that sort of mentality. Into the back row. Now, one of my key men isn't one of the flankers. I don't think we quite know who's going to start there with Tipperick, Watson, Curry, for example. But one guy I think we know is going to start is Taulupe Faletau. And with Dwayne Vermeulen now probably out, not confirmed, let me know if it is confirmed, I think we have the best number 8 in the series. And if he performs to his best, I think he can make a point of difference. And there's not many positions in this side where we think, yes, definitely we could have an edge. So we need to take it where it's on offer. He's this peak. After this tour, he's probably going to be getting a little bit older. He probably won't make another tour, but who knows? This is his time. This is his Everest to make that difference. And I think he may well do that. Into the backs. The weakest position, I think, for the Lions, as many do, is scrum half. That scrum half is going to be coming up against Faf de Klerk, probably the best scrum half in the world. And I think there's one guy that we need to start at the peak of his powers, if he can get there, and that is Conor Murray. Price, Davis, great players, but I do see them more coming off the bench. If we can get that assured nature of Murray, in my opinion, he is top level. He could boss the game with his kicking, his tackling, his physicality, and he's not going to get phased. He is a starter for me. At the moment, obviously, lots could change, but he won't be intimidated. And if we're not going to have a weakness at 9, I think he's the man that could be key. Now, finally, into the outside backs. I'm not overly worried about the back 3. I think there's so many good options there. You could put many great back 3s together who could actually, really turn the series. But in the centres, again, we feel a little bit light to me. But there was one guy that stood out in the Six Nations as world class who could really make something happen in attack and still be incredibly solid in defence. And that's Robbie Henshaw. Maybe he starts at 13 if Aki's at 12, or maybe he starts at 12. Either way, I think we need him to stand up there because he's probably going to be up against Deolande and Am in the midfield, and we need him playing like he did in that Six Nations. And if he does, then we've got a great chance and we're not going to get dominated in that area. So, those are my 5 guys. Furlong, Alan Wynne-Jones, Faletau, Murray and Henshaw. Who would be your 5 key Lions to winning this series? I'd love to know. Pop it in the comments below, and I will see you next time.